Peace.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.
Peace.
We here.
Yep. We made it.
We made it.
We got started on time. Last time we was talking for 3 hours
my
and
God,
then
yeah.
started the episode.
Last week, no, we started like literally 2 hours, just nonstop
1:30 or
banter.
something, no?
We didn't start till 1:30.
For real.
It's
Crazy.
On
insane.
my way here, I was like, I hope they don't do it till like 8:30. I
No,
was
no,
like,
you gotta wake up. You gotta be at work at 7. So 11:30. This is a good start. We did talk a lot, but 11:30 is a good start. But we do have a new brother on. Want to introduce yourself, brother? Yes, sir.
my name is Robert Valencia. I'm coming out of Bellflower
Yes, sir.
currently,
Yes, sir.
LA resident.
That's right.
Coming on the Ascension podcast first time.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
Long time listener.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Big support.
Day one, bro. Day
Day
one.
one.
Day one.
Day one supporter, man.
Day one.
Much
Heavy.
appreciated, bro.
No, for real, bro. No,
Awesome.
you've been along for the ride, man.
Glad
And
to
you-
be here.
And you've seen the development, like where where we started, like, and getting more, how this podcast is like turned us into, it's become more professional. You know, we still pop off. You know what I mean? We still pop off. But
pop off.
now we actually have projects underneath what has been started here, and then now there's a level of popping off that's coupled with even more professionalism, because now we have like there's stakes and there's project on the line that started here in this podcast, so it's very real. And what happens is this is like this is where we work our magic, the meta nature, the matter. It happens here, comes from dream world to this podcast, this is the laboratory, then it goes out into physical reality. So just be mindful that things happen here, bro. So bring what you want to this, bring it to the primordial goop, and then watch it happen in real life, man. So yes, sir. And then, like we've said, or I've said on this podcast, where I haven't told you explicitly, but now that you're here, this is your show now. So now, it's like we tell people, everyone has a skill set, everyone has like a lane, everyone has a perspective. So now that you're a part of the creative force of this, is like, I rely on you to actually come with ideas or be proactive and like, hey, I want to come on, pop off this week. I want to bring my wife. I want to do whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop.
Awesome.
No, for real. So like it's now your podcast. You know what I mean? Because this is the God. This is God's. I really view this as like God's laboratory. So we really try to walk in that. Not try to not keep the ratchet to its to the limit. And we're getting better at that. Because now that we're becoming more professional, but now that you're here, you've ascended to the point where now you are an active contributor, and then with that comes responsibility. So now I'm just like, I'm calling you out and letting you know, it's like, hey, there's a price to come here now. Now we expect your creative input, and hopefully this is not the first time you be here. Yeah, so that's it, man.
Oh, definitely. Glad to be here, like I said. Just recently, like I told you earlier, did my 40-day soul fast.
What's up?
Yeah, I want to talk about that for
So-
real. But I'm going to open this up in prayer, because
Oh, yes,
last
let's
week we
pray,
did
of
we did not
course.
open up in prayer, so I know we are going to forget. I actually wrote down soul fast, because as soon as I saw your book, and I was like, okay, now we talking about that, because I'm fasting right now because it's Ramadan.
Yes.
It's
Perfect
Holy
time
Week.
too. And it's funny because I started that and I was like, then Ramadan kicked in. I was like, oh, wow, perfect. And then the whole Easter,
Yeah.
my wife thing, the Catholic.
Yeah, it's Holy Week.
Yeah. So I'm like,
It's
and I
real.
didn't even plan to do it like that. It just happened.
Everything's aligned, like the Catholic Holy Week. It's Passover. Today's Passover. Do you know that?
It's spring. It's the mother nature.
Yeah,
It's
it's
in you.
all
It's all
right
serious.
now.
It's the
Passover
resurrection.
is when Passover. What's that story? Sorry, I got to talk about that's a Bible story. Passover.
Pray, stop, and pray.
Let's do a prayer.
Position of prayer. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the most merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the most merciful, Master of the day of judgment. Thee alone do we serve. Thee alone do we beseech for divine aid. Guide us on the right path, the path upon whom thou hast bestowed favors, not upon whom thy wrath has been brought down, nor upon those who go astray. Thank you, Lord. Guide this conversation. Guide these times. Usher us to your kingdom as we steward in this kingdom of righteousness. We love and serve you alone. Ameen.
I mean, Islam.
Yes, sir.
Now, so fast.
Yes. So it's a book that I got from the author is Cassandra Mack, who does like a ministry. I found her on YouTube one day, just doing some self-help, analyzing myself, trying to resolve trauma from my childhood
Nice,
because you
man.
know I know everybody has that growing up in the
Yeah.
hood.
Yes. Growing up in America.
Growing up, yeah, just growing up in life.
Up.
Period.
Growing
Honestly,
up in capitalism, growing up in this instantiation of physical reality, bro. Yes. Trauma everywhere.
So I did it with my brother Isaac, who I'm actually really glad we both did it together because it really was. I was able to see things that triggered him growing up, and likewise myself. So that was really a great experience.
This your blood brother or your brother-in-law?
We have the same mother,
Okay.
Word.
different fathers.
Okay, so your brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
bro.
Oh yeah.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Yeah.
And his idea or your idea?
Well, I got the book for myself first, and then I just sat it on the shelf. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if people do that with books.
No,
you get a
no,
book
all the
and,
time.
No, yeah.
you know,
Yeah, all the
I
time.
put it so I put it aside for a moment, and then his birthday had came up, so I decided, all right, let me get my brother a gift. I got him a guitar, and then I got him the book as well.
Y'all are tight. That's what's up, bro.
Yeah. I love all my brothers and sisters. Shout out to them if they hear this.
Yeah.
And so one day he just called me and he's all like, "Hey, let's do this. Let's do this book." I had mentioned him like, I think we should do it together. He's like, "Okay." So week so passed by, and then one day he's just said, "Hey, let's do it together this day." And bam, and it happened right.
The book that you had bought him.
Correct.
So you bought it for him, but he actually had the.
He did like me. He waited a while. You know?
But he was the one that's like, okay, actually, let's do this.
Yes.
That's what's up, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
So through this book, there's like every 10 days, there's a topic. Like the first one is self-defeating thoughts. You write what's a self-defeating thought you have, and then you have to counteract that with a Bible verse. So it's a biblical. It's like a biblical book.
So she's a Christian woman?
Correct.
Okay, that's what's up. What's her name?
Cassandra Mack.
That's what's up.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, and it's interesting how I found her on YouTube. I love the stuff that she talks about. It's awesome.
Oh, she's black.
Oh yeah.
That's what's up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
And it's interesting because the stuff that I was dealing with at the time was like, I guess I want to say like haters, negative.
Come on.
Yeah.
Talk
No,
about it.
talk to him, bro.
Negativity because it's.
Yeah.
I've always been like a cool person, like I got along with a lot of people, but I started to notice like once you start growing and improving yourself, people will throw shade at you.
Absolutely.
And it's almost like you don't even realize it. Like, wait a minute.
Until it's happening. Hey.
Yeah, bro. We're all living that.
You saw it. You saw it.
I was like-
you see it and you saw it.
Because I'm like,
And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'm not even like, I don't even like attention like that. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
the type of person that's like, oh, look what I did.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. But some people will be like, hey, Rob, oh, yeah, I see you doing that. Da, da. And I guess some people don't like that.
Some people don't
Or
like
they feel threatened by
They feel threatened.
You know, one thing I learned in DC, the lady, it was this lady who comes from like a small town, and she's like a leader in the USDA, like a high level lady in the USDA. And she was saying how like a lot of us are breaking barriers. So we're breaking barriers that people didn't even know we could break. And we're doing this for the first time.
Yeah.
So like some of these barriers you breaking, even if it's a spiritual, mental, or emotional barriers, or even just how you conduct yourself barriers, you're breaking barriers, and people don't know. People people have a box. People have a perspective of what they put you in. Like people see you for this, and then the moment that you aren't what I thought you should be,
Yeah.
or you aren't who I met you when I met you, you was this.
Yep.
And now you're not this anymore, and it's like, what do you mean? Like you're going to stay this?
Yeah,
It's like no, you're not that no
you're
more.
not.
Yes.
Bro.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
one thing that I realized is like, if you're happy, that upsets people.
Yes, bro.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I found that very strange. I was
bro.
like, wait a minute, what?
Yes,
Why do you even care? But
It's the aura, so it's the light.
So like
The light. It makes people uncomfortable.
don't make like little jokes, little like
haters, man.
yeah,
No,
it's
it's
like,
haters.
and I was like, what? There's no way. So I would like, I started looking up. It was like, is this person hating? Like, and then that's when she popped up.
Wow.
So her videos popped up, and she breaks down
Man,
perfectly.
God sent you her. That's crazy, bro. No, for
I
real.
totally believe that because
No, for real.
the way she breaks things down is like, and she from the hood too. She be like, she says, I know vengeance is the Lord, but sometimes I just want to help him. Throw a little son in there too.
Yeah.
So I learned so much to not get out of character. Because I grew up, hey, somebody dissing you,
What's happening?
put hands on them,
Yeah,
quick.
fact.
Let them know what's up right away.
Just saying what you thought.
What's happening? What's happening?
Yeah.
What's happening, bro?
But as I get older, I realize, you really don't have to hurt people because they're already hurt.
Come on.
Talk to him, bro. Talk to him, bro.
Damn.
Talk to him, bro.
So I'm just like, okay, cool. Let me get back to the book. So I'm like, let me do this book fast. And the more that I did it,
What's the sorry? I want to get more detail. Like, what's the structure? How does it work? Like, because I saw words in there. You have to write
Okay.
stuff. So like, yeah, just go. Let's go. I want to go through the process of like the soul fast. You feel me? Because I'm thinking about actually getting this now.
Yeah, me too.
For real.
it's a great book. I totally recommend it. And it
Like,
goes back to...
Oh, is it a 40-day period? Supposed to do something every day?
Correct.
Okay, yeah,
So
explain it.
day one.
Okay.
So for example, it says start with a prayer, which I love. That's
Nice.
why I love.
Bro.
Yes.
Nah, bro. Nah.
Thank God. It says
Read it. Just read it. Let's get the vibe.
identify the self-defeating thought you intend to reject today. So I
Read that first. Read the pray. I'm curious. The
Okay,
first word is pray, so I'm already know
first
she's
step
on point.
is pray.
Okay.
Start your day with prayer. Thank God for all your blessings, including the blessings to be able to wake up and see a brand new day today. God gives you, give God the praise by telling God how great He is. Talk to God about whatever is on your heart this morning. Ask God to reveal any mindset, belief, or outlooks that you need to reject and fast from because they are either holding you back, undermining your success, or they are not aligned with who the Bible says you are as a child of God.
Bro.
Islam.
Bro, I needed to hear that. That's why I asked you to read it, because like when you pray, it's easy to go in robot mode, just like ritual, like just say the same stuff and not even like be conscious about what are you actually conversing with God with. Are you just like going through memorized stuff just to say you did it? You know what I'm saying? But that right there tells you, was like, no, tell him what's on your mind so he can help you work on it. Right.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
then help me with the specific things that I'm dealing with. Right. That's real.
That is real.
Because I have things that I'm dealing with, but I don't actually like communicate my prayers to Allah and like be like, hey, Allah, dealing with this X, Y, and Z, like help me, and actually verbalize it to Him. Help me with this specific thing. Because why would you not be why not be specific? You know what I mean? Like he's literally closer to you than your life, and He knows everything, knows every thought. So you could speak as if it's like, you know what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with this. Like, help me with this. And the more specific you are, the more precise the medicine. Right?
And God is always listening, because sometimes we'll be quiet because we feel like, well, no one's going to understand me, but God understands you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's deep.
It's when
That's
I
a
read,
bar. Let that one sit, because I think that one went over people's head, bro.
yeah, that's
Like, it sounds simple, but that's a really processing that. Like, it's difficult to communicate because we don't feel understood, right? But then really understanding that God understands us.
Yeah.
So we can actually say this shit or talk and know that, like, God know what I'm saying. Because sometimes even communicating is like, you're not always understood.
That's right.
And that's a part of the hate and the conflict and like the miscommunications and the having the code switch, because it's like people don't always understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Or understand you. So we understand the context of how you mean it, and understand your heart, understand where you're coming from, the layers of like being understood, and the layers of knowing you can actually go to God, go to Allah with this. Because even if it's not like you said, even if it's not, oh, Father God, like even if you turn the robot off and just say, hey man, I'm dealing with this, and you know I'm dealing with this because you understand why I'm dealing with this. And a lot of times, like you said, we kind of don't go to prayer because the guilt and the shame. Like I can't talk to God about this.
Yeah, no,
And it's
for
like,
real,
no,
for real.
God understand.
Yeah.
He's like, I already know. He's like, whatever you're ashamed of, whatever you're trying to hide, I already know. Let's talk about
Let's
it.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk. And it takes, it takes a level of humility to actually be to talk about your problems, like at that personal level. It's easy to go and wrote, "Oh, our Father, thou art." Nothing wrong with the Lord's Prayer, for the record. Our Father, thou art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love that prayer. I actually don't say it, but I'm just in general. There are prayers that I do say that are robotic, more or less. But it's easier to go in robot mode than it is to be like, okay, Allah, what's up? Like this is actually, I'm feeling this way today. I'm dealing with this. It takes a lot of humility.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be very
I think
clear.
the bet, like you said, I think journaling helps with that too.
Yeah, man.
Because even the things you might not feel comfortable just saying, you can write it down. Writing it down is like getting it. Sometimes just saying it still stays in all your mind mess. And like
Facts.
writing it down, it helps to take it out of your mind and out of your imagination into like matter. you know?
Yeah.
And
Facts.
journaling, writing, that's my weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I remember last time I told you, I was like, I want to write a little cookbook. And I was like, nah, but I can't. I was like, every time I try to write something, I get like writer's block.
Anxiety kick in.
Or I'll get like
ADHD.
Like recently I had to write an article for shout out to Compton Run Club. About why do you run?
That's what's up.
And I wrote it out, and
So you run a lot. Like that's your thing.
yeah, I've been running since like 2018. Then I took a little break.
So after you didn't like do cross country or track in high school?
No,
Oh, okay. Understood.
I would run and pee with my hands in my pocket. Like I did not. I didn't care about none of that stuff.
Understand.
I think the most athletic thing I would do is skateboard.
Oh, you're a skater.
Yeah.
Okay. Understood. Yeah,
skated.
me too. Yeah.
I played Little League for a while.
Yeah.
Till I got kicked out of that. Because the pitcher threw the ball at me, and I ran after him and tried to. Well, I did
Some
punch him.
cholo shit.
So then they kicked me out. They're like, "Oh, you can't come back." And then I just didn't want to sign back up.
I feel you.
Yeah. That's like I told you. That's how I grew up. We grew up. Hey, you mess with me, that's it. It's a wrap. We
It's a
going.
wrap. It's happening, bro. I understand.
But like I said, as
In
you
theory.
get older, you go to jail for that or
Yes, sir.
whatever. You get fired. It ain't gonna happen like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got derailed with that question. What were we talking about before I asked you
It's
about?
so fast.
Yeah. But what specifically? You were on the tangent about. You were on Yeah, damn it! I
Praying.
distracted you.
Talking about
Oh yeah,
talking about
prayer.
prayer and you talking about journaling.
Yeah, that's right.
Writing
Thank you.
is hard for you.
Writing is hard for you.
But
That's
you,
exactly.
But you write an article.
There we go.
Yeah, so I was writing an article, and I noticed that even within that, which was recently, which was after this, my wife's like, yeah, she read it over. She was like, yeah, it's kind of long. You have a lot of like fluff, which is like unnecessary parts.
Yeah.
And that's always been my thing. Like, I just like, because I don't know where to start. And if I overthink it and I try to be like, whoa, I can't add this, I can't add that, then I stop myself.
You heard
Yeah.
it. You heard of Chat GPT?
No. Is that an app that you were telling me last time?
AI.
It's Chat GPT, bro.
Okay.
It's
He'll give you the game.
yeah.
Continue.
I got to get
But
that
yeah,
later
No,
on.
you can get it right now. It's a free thing. You could just you could literally take that and then go to put it all on Chat GPT and say, hey, make this more concise and turn this into a more concise article. And then copy and paste that whole article on there, and then it'll make it more concise.
Sweater.
And then you could make your adjustments how you want. Like that's how I use it. Like I write my thoughts, and then I say, all right, turn this into whatever I need to write it. Turn it into.
Did South Park make a skit on that?
Probably.
Maybe.
Are you?
I
Oh
don't
wait.
know.
Are you actively watching South Park? I haven't.
Nah,
I've been
seen it
off
on,
South Park.
They made
for,
fun
like,
of Chat GPT.
I can see
Yeah,
that.
they made fun of it. But nah, you know how they are.
Did you watch the episode?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Damn
You
that.
did?
No, I didn't. I haven't watched an
Chat
episode of South
GPT
Park.
is the future, bro.
It is the future.
It's the present. It's not even the future. It's the
it is
present.
right
It's
now. It's happening.
it's right now.
It's here, and
It's
like,
changed my life.
And if you ignore it, it's just like ignoring the internet. It's like you can't. It's like it's gonna happen without you, bro. So either you learn it and learn the game and use it to help better your life, or just miss the wave. So
And I'm not saying that will write the article for you. I'm saying you write the article, then might help you refine it or help you condense it, help you make it more concise, and then you can take that and then edit that yourself.
yeah, and it works. And I've seen him using it, and I've seen what it's been able to do for his ability to articulate his thoughts. Because this thing, he has great ideas, but actually getting these great ideas and concepts to actually like to fit these big conceptual God body thoughts into the parameters of the English language in its formal, often hypocritical grammar rules. Like that's where the disconnect is. So, but I've seen him able to use Chat GPT to get these ideas into the formal bounds of English grammar.
Yeah, because you could just literally say, turn this into something formal professional. It'll turn it.
Yeah.
And like you said, journaling is great because you get those thoughts, turn them into matter, into the physical realm. And even though this is personal stuff that I could share.
Yeah, I feel you.
But
Yeah.
You never know. Some personal information can really help somebody else
Absolutely.
out. Like,
No.
oh my God, I felt like that. Or,
Yeah, no, for real.
Or, damn, I now that you did it, now I feel brave enough to do this and
No,
that.
that's real, bro.
And it could be like, man, for 40 years I've been holding this in.
That kind of was like you and your brother. That's kind of how the book was with you and your brother, where like it was like, man, like some breakthroughs.
Yes.
That's what's up, bro.
And one of the things that
I think I want to do that with my family too. I think we should all do it together.
I like that, man.
I'm glad I did with him, and I want to spread it out more with my family. Like, hey, check
That's
this
real,
out.
bro.
And it's awesome because from those 40 days, we refrained from drugs and alcohol.
Anything else?
Which is always helpful.
And me, I started smoking marijuana when I was 12 years old. I'm just gonna go on the record and say that because this matters to me.
Yeah.
For real.
And I've been
Seventh grade, right?
yeah.
Right? Oh, that's when I started. Damn. Oh, 8th grade. That's not that early.
Smoking, you smoking weed in 8th grade?
8th grade.
Damn, man.
Yeah, bro.
I didn't start smoking until I was 23.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. A lot of people started late. I started
started late.
young.
Yeah.
I was doing bad. I was a good kid. But anyway, good to you. I was a good kid. I was in church.
You were.
I was saved. I was a virgin. I didn't do no bad shit until I hit 20s.
I was skipping church in high school.
And then 20s, that's when I turned up and
Turned to ratchet.
and turned ratchet.
Now the strip clubs in heaven now. You feel me?
Hey, he's gone. So you gave up smoking during this time too?
Yeah.
For
Smoking,
40
drinking.
days?
Well, now it's been. Well, I did it a little prior to
Oh,
that.
okay.
So it's been like maybe 50 days.
Damn,
Damn, bro.
Since you roll one up, and you had that good. You had that kill, man.
Oh, yeah.
Rob had that fire. Let's not play.
And
Rob hit me with that fire. He was like, "Here, I got you, man. It'd be some shit."
and I think like a week ago, I was watching a movie or whatever, and I had got like the urge to relapse, and then. Because I still have like some shit like I put away,
bro. Yeah.
and it's just there or whatever, and I'm like,
You
whatever.
don't want it, you can shoot it. You know what I'm saying? You.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then I take it out, and I'm like, fuck, walk around it, and then I go sit down on the couch. I'm like, how am I gonna feel after this?
Yeah, I feel
For
you.
real, bro.
And then I was like, I just finished watching the movie.
Was it the movie that made you want to roll one up?
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me be all the way honest.
Let's hear it, bro.
I ate a microdose of some chocolate
There's some shrooms.
shrooms.
Oh.
Just a little piece.
Yeah.
I was like, this ain't. I've never been addicted to that. So
Yeah,
I was just like, whatever. Let me just whatever. It's the weekend. I don't know what I was thinking. And then that triggered me to like want to smoke.
Wow.
I feel you. No, I feel you.
Cause it was like I guess they go hand in hand type of thing.
Yeah.
Some chemistry thing, huh?
Yeah.
It stimulates that part of your spirit. It's stimulation. It's like, okay, what's up?
And it's funny because I was watching the movie Rocky.
Especially shrooms.
Rocky
At the
1?
same time?
Yeah, Rocky 1.
Yeah, I've never seen Rocky 1.
Man, that's
I've never seen none of the Rockies.
I highly recommend
They
them.
good. They're fun.
I've heard that it's
And it's funny
everybody says
because
should
I used to be like a big time. I don't even know why I would hate on that movie, but I'd be like, man, Rocky, whatever, skip that.
Do you see Creed 3?
Yep.
I love Creed 3.
Oh man, loved it. Awesome.
I gotta
movie.
see Creed 3.
You ain't seen,
I've
man,
not.
Creed 3 was amazing, bro. I've seen Creed 3 like 4 times already.
See it. You gone to the movie 4 times?
I
in one?
watched. I love.
Bro,
It's
damn.
one of my new favorite movies. I'm not
Okay,
gonna
I gotta
lie.
see it. If
love
you've seen it,
Creed 3.
if you've paid for it,
No, I ain't paid for it. I was paid for it twice, and then I can watch it online. Shout out to my man. Hey, I paid for it twice, G.
Oh, you could watch it at home now.
You can.
Okay.
No, I mean, I'll be watching online. I got different sites. I'll be going.
oh, okay,
to. Shout
yeah,
out to
I
Keep Me
forgot
Down.
about that game. Yeah, I didn't realize that's a thing.
Shout
Okay,
out to yeah.
that's what's up.
And it's funny because
So you're watching Rocky.
Rock and I was thinking about smoking.
What about Rocky made you want to smoke though? Oh no, it wasn't Rocky.
It was
They
the
made you- it was the
shrooms.
shrooms. It was the
Yeah,
shrooms
it was
that
the
made you
chocolate. Okay, so trip out on this
yeah.
part. So right when I did that, this is crazy how everything happens. A lot of things in my life are like synchronized. So he gets called out to fight Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
And in that time, he's like, all right, I got to get serious.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's like a kid there in the scene that's smoking. He's like, hey, what you doing with this? And he throws it out. He's like, you don't need to be smoking.
I don't like Sylvester Stallone. Right there.
Yeah, but I mean, I watched all 5. I, this voice is stuck in my head already. Like, hey, you coulda. So then I was like, okay, that's a sign.
Y'all feel-
That was a big sign.
That's a sign. No, for real, that's a sign.
So I was like, all right. And then there's another scene later where he's all like, his trainer, Mickey, he tells him, hey, you shouldn't be drinking that booze. You know, you got something serious going on. And I thought to myself, do I want to be a bum or do I want to be a champ?
Come on, no facts.
Where's my life going right now?
Come on, man, talk to him.
Talk to him, bro.
That's real shit.
I was like, drop that bum shit right now. Like, stop all that BS that's been holding you back this long.
Yeah.
See how, and it had I had after my marathon, so I was like, man, I did it.
Like you could see what you do when you're not on these things.
I was
I
like,
see what
Facts,
you
bro.
got
No, for real.
So I was like, man, I did it. I was like, that's insane.
Talking about, so you did marathon then soul fast, right?
Correct.
bro. And now you on the Ascension podcast at Easter, bro.
See what I mean? And
Bro.
that's what's crazy because
That's insane.
if anybody hear this, I just want you to know, once you start stepping your game up, it's not gonna take you years. It's gonna happen like back to back to back to back, and you're gonna be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But when you are doing the stuff that's holding you back, that's gonna be holding you back for a long time. Because in your mind, you're gonna believe, oh man, if I stop now, ain't nothing gonna happen. But it will happen for you.
Absolutely, bro.
So I hope people will believe in themselves in that sense and believe in God.
Now I feel you.
Facts,
This year, at the beginning of the year, I bought the 12-step program, but I've been doing the steps myself because it talks about like why, like the addiction to alcohol isn't about the alcohol. It's about all the shit that you went through, and you got to deal with all the shit that you went through. And when you do all that shit that you went through, it's gonna be easier to not want to drink. You want to drink because you don't want to think about all that shit you went through.
Yeah, no. Facts.
You know?
It's like it puts you in a comfort zone.
Yeah.
You got problems.
And I never thought of it like that. I never thought of like, oh, I want to go get a drink tonight because I got a lot of, because I went, I mean, I know you know, but not know like all the shit. I don't think about all this shit. I think, man, I want to go turn up. I want to go party. I want to go have a good time. But it's like, nigga, you want to go party and get drunk to not think about all the shit.
That's right.
And you know what's another thing I
No, bro,
noticed?
that's it. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And another thing I noticed is that you'll be like, they call it like a functioning drug addict or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
functioning alcoholic, whatever. Well, I still go to work. I still do this. I
Yeah.
still do that. But I started to notice this. Maybe your life is just mediocre. Step up to them hard levels, and you're gonna realize that stuff is really messing you up. Like, whoa, I can't.
Yeah.
Like in the movies, like, hey, you're fighting Apollo Creed. You better, you better,
You can't fuck around.
you better chill with this, because that's gonna, this guy's gonna kill you.
Yeah. No. Facts.
You're gonna stand, he's gonna destroy
You
you.
will die. You will die. No,
No, I understand that. That's how I felt. Like I know going into these new levels, like something got to give.
Yeah,
Facts.
And
you're not gonna make it.
one of the
Fact.
best
No,
parts.
you're not
it's
gonna make
gonna
it.
kill
One of the
you.
best parts about
You're
it
going
is
to die.
Yeah.
You're going to die, bro.
This is already rock bottom. Like I feel you saying, like we have to accept, like this is rock bottom. Like we think rock bottom is like lost. No, rock bottom is like you said. You can't. Is like the lowest you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So some people's rock bottom may be here, but that's still their rock bottom because they can never like yeah. You might not feel like because you here, you feel like, oh, I'm here, but that's your rock bottom. Like that's you never getting. You just stay here because of this shit, as opposed to being able to go up here.
Nah.
but you be functional here, and you think just because you here and you not here that I'm straight, and it's like no, nigga,
No.
you not straight.
You at rock bottom.
This is your rock bottom.
That is your rock bottom.
Yeah,
Rock bottom
and I
is
have to be like,
relative.
oh, okay.
No, that's a bar. Rock
Yeah.
bottom is your rock bottom.
Yeah,
and it's
rock-
relative to your potential.
Yeah.
You feel me? Our rock bottom could be a homeless person's like star. You know what I'm saying?
No, for real.
For real.
No, for real.
For real, for real, for real. And that's
Right.
man. And I'm thinking like rock bottom is just the bottom of ascension.
But I ain't gonna lie, during that book made me take like a really long inventory of all the people I've hurt and all those things. And I never did that shit. I had to write like all the people I've hurt.
Yeah.
And then I'm not gonna lie, a lot of
was
like
that tough?
hell yeah, for me it was tough.
Yeah.
But then
Once you get it off.
a lot of like my urges left, bro. After that, I ain't gonna like in hindsight, not even at that time. I'm like, okay, I don't, but just overall, it was like, wow, I don't really want to get a drink. I don't really want to drink as much. I don't really want to go party as much.
That's one of the topics. Identify a relationship that you believe is toxic, and you write about that person. And
You wrote about that. You have to talk about that. You ain't got to talk about on the phone to the folks.
Ooh, man, that's real, man. Man.
on the last day, I wrote about myself. And then I was like the young Rob. I was like, man, he was toxic. He was detrimental to my health. He was making me feel depressed, because sometimes everybody will see you like, oh, but you're partying, you're doing all, you're looking good. And then you like think back, nah, I wasn't. I wasn't living good. If I was, I wouldn't need all that extra fluff stuff. You know, I wouldn't need all the, doing whatever I was doing. So some things appear like, oh man, you're living your best life, but you don't realize you're living like. I mean, I know I've only been sober for like 50 days, but like, so I'm not really.
Still, it's
I'm
real.
not saying much, but it's like, man, just the thought of going back. It's like, okay, like here's one thing that I told myself.
Talk to him, bro. No, for real. Keep
Here's
going. I know where you're going. Keep
Here's
going.
one thing that I tell myself. Like when I thought about smoking, I was like, damn, I'm instantly gonna feel regret. That's one thing that I told myself. I'm like, damn, regret it. I'm gonna feel like I let myself down. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm already happy.
Bro, yes.
I was like, I'm already good. This is an illusion that is gonna make me feel gooder, but it's really not. So I was like, and then she get you more. Like it costs money to do all these things.
Yes.
It's not free.
No. And then you want to eat more, and dude, no. It comes at a cost.
Yes. So
It comes at a cost.
I started to realize it's like, man, to be content with just yourself, like to breathe air, to
Yeah.
enjoy the sun, to wake up feeling good. Like, okay, I went to a birthday party. Shout out to my brother-in-law.
Tree trimming, brother-in-law?
No,
Another brother-in-law.
my sister's younger brother, Adam.
Dope. I like him.
It was his birthday, and bruh, they had like all the best alcohol.
Understand?
All the like the top bottles and like
Yeah.
1940 whatever. And
The
all
good
that.
shit.
Yeah.
The good shit.
That shit, bro. I understand.
And
Where they cooking?
they had a taco,
What's up, bro?
a taquero,
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. That's all I'm asking. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So that goes perfect hand in hand, bro.
Definitely hand in hand, bro. Hand in
And
hand.
I was just like, you know what? Me and my wife were like, we're not gonna drink. And while I helped set up, and then I told myself, well, I could do one shot. My wife's like, no, don't do it. And I was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. You're right. She's right.
And I was like, I'm glad she said that because it's crazy how because you're holding yourself accountable. It's not like nobody told me to do this. Nobody's like, hey, you have to do this. You're on probation. No, it's like,
No.
it was
not at
like
all.
all like on my own, and I was like, wait a minute. You set a goal, stick to it.
Yeah.
Like don't let yourself down. Come on, you let yourself down, you're gonna let everybody else down.
That's
like
facts, man.
like you can't even do something you told yourself to do.
That's real, bro.
Like, come on. That's and then you letting God down too, because this is like
because he gives you when you make an intention, he gives you the support to do it. So when you don't follow through with what you promise yourself to do, you are letting, it's like wasted energy that guy, he's like, oh man, I gave you all that support but you didn't do it. And that you do that enough, it leads to confusion because God is like literally pumping all this support to you, but you're not moving in that direction. So you're stuck stagnant with all the support. So that just, it's like a pressure, and you got to go somewhere. And then all that pressure, when you stand stagnant, it just turns you around in circles and circles. All of a sudden, it's like, where do? Oh, I'm confused now.
You know
feel me?
You know what's? Yes, I do. And you know what's a good analogy that I just thought of right now? Okay, so in my running journey that I noticed is like, okay, for February, I had my sister said, shout out to my sister Stella, because she's really my inspiration for running. She got me going because like she
Older
was
sister, younger sister.
younger sister.
What's that, bro?
I'm the second eldest. I got one older sister, and then I got my siblings younger than me.
How many?
10.
Damn. Oh, that's right.
So it's 9 plus me.
But it's two sides, right? Like it's like this is counting your father's
and
children
mother's.
and your mother's
Right,
children.
right.
Yeah.
My dad has 2 other, plus me and my sister, and then my mom has the rest. And y'all could do the math right there.
Yeah.
And I always thought of my brothers like I never thought of, because people be like, oh, that's your half brother. I'm like, I never thought about it like that. This is my brother. Period.
Yeah.
I feel you.
My sisters. Well, she okay. So she would always be like, she started running, and then she's like, hey, Rob, do a 5K with me, and I was be like, I don't know. And she'd be like, all right, cool, I'll leave you alone. I gotta bother you. And then she'll go come up again. She's like, hey, do it. And I was like, Until finally I was like, all right, let's do it. So I did it. Man, it was so much fun.
Yeah, 5Ks are fun.
That was like
5Ks are
memorable thing that I was like, man, I thought it was gonna be hard. I couldn't even run a mile. I was like, man, because it takes training. Like a lot of people tell me, oh, Rob, you're a runner. That's why you could do it. I'm like, I remember when I used to walk. I even bought a bike.
Yeah.
Just because I couldn't run. I was like, man, I need a bike. And then I didn't like the bike because the whole seat thing. I hurt my butt. I was like,
it hurt your butt.
I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me try running again. So I would run, stop, walk, run, stop, walk. And then I built myself up eventually where I could just run a whole mile without stopping. And whatever, I built myself more and more. So what I realized in running is in February, I did 100 miles for that month.
Nice.
Not in one time, like, if you do it every day, it would be like 3 miles every day, something like that. Well, I missed some days, so I had to make up for it. But what I want to get at is during the time that I'm running, like let's say for the 7 days, like let's say I take like 3 days off, 4 days off, I instantly start feeling like, man, I get used to that, and I feel like I'm used to being weak. But when I'm on it every day, in my mind, I think, oh, I'm going to be tired. But I feel actually stronger in those days.
Facts.
So it's like the more you grind, the more your ability to move is stronger. And the more you rest, the lazier you get and the weaker.
You're on different planes of existence. It's like you're on the grind plane and then the chill plane. They're different. And like in the chill plane, you get comfortable with like sleep. You want to sleep more. You don't want to be active. Up here is like, all right, active.
Yes.
Active. It's like training camp. It's like, oh no, well, I got to be doing something. And it's a constant state of flowy productivity, right? And so,
And your body adapts.
it does.
It actually like starts feeding for that.
It does.
It's like when there's times where I wouldn't run and my body's like, come on, let's get out there. Let's go.
Yeah, and you need it because your body's it's rewarding itself for this new going to this new level, and it's like, oh, I want to stay here. I'm going to keep going. So the game of life is to not toggle back to these lower planes. To keep instead of like going up and then I'm gonna go back down here. It's just plateau and then go to the next level.
Yes.
Next level.
Yes.
Next level, and you have to pace yourself, right? But
of course,
that's the goal. But it's difficult to keep ascending because you also got to keep in mind life happens while you're doing all this stuff. So it's the setbacks, the breakups, the deaths in the family, the BS, the tragic events, the losing of jobs that set you back.
In addictions.
No, for real.
Definitely.
And
Because the life make you go back to the addictions, and the addictions, like
The
you said,
traumas trigger the addictions. 'Cause
Facts.
You're like, so much is happening. Let me get a drink.
let me get a drink. Let me get a drink. Oh, let me go smash.
Yeah, let me go do something. Yeah.
Let me go smash.
Let
Like,
me
for real.
release. Let me release this or take my mind off of it.
Facts. And then it's that one shot at that party, or that one like smoking a blunt
Right.
after taking a little bit of shrooms that can get you from that plane to that down to this plane just for the night. And then the next day you may want to start going back up, but then it's easier just to coast back. You don't notice the toggling back down. It's very subtle. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're jumping off a cliff. It's just like you're just taking like an elevator down, not like an escalator.
yeah,
Right, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh damn! I remember last month this time I was, exactly.
it's like.
Yeah.
And you think you don't feel because you can come back here, but you don't feel like.
And that's like a
Yeah.
illusion of progress because really you ain't did nothing.
Exactly.
You didn't really elevate.
That's what I'm saying.
Not
You
at
really
all.
just-
You
You're
just-
like yeah, down, down.
I'm thinking the statistics like that. Actually,
Yeah, like
you know what I'm
stat- yeah,
saying?
exactly.
No, for real. I'm
Yeah.
actually being like, for real.
So once you start elevating and you're reaching new levels, you're like, whoa, I just passed where mentally I thought was a cap.
Yeah, no, for
And
real.
you're like, whoa, I perceived that. And then so that's what you start
breaking
thinking.
those barriers, like I said.
That's where the successful people are separated from the not successful people because once you start breaking those barriers, like you said earlier, you think to yourself, how much
What
more
else
can
could-
I go?
exactly.
The sky's the limit.
The sky is the limit. It's not a limit. There's no limit.
And then you pass the sky, you're like, whoa, it just keeps
Then you in space,
going.
and you keep going. There's no limit. It's infinite. That's the journey. That's evolution.
And some of those barriers are, like you said, internalizing people's opinions and perspectives of you. And
Yeah,
I had to
for real.
get past that barrier. I think once I got past that barrier of like people's perception of me,
The box.
yeah,
The people try
but
to, like-
like me getting past their barrier, like people like not like they're gonna think what they're gonna think and feel how they feel, but I have to get past that barrier of internalizing that, and then like not limiting myself because I want to fit, like not trying to fit into the box.
Yeah.
Is the barrier.
And the box doesn't even have to be bad. It could be like a good box.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Someone could be like, oh, I know you're a perfect person. You're doing it. And then you're like, damn, no, I can't drink around this person. I
Yeah,
can't smoke
yeah.
around this person because they have this illusion of me of being
Yeah.
a good person.
Yeah, yeah.
So, that's that. A good quote I have is that I'm trying to accept is, what other people think about me is none of my business.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know, because
Facts.
you start worrying too much about like, how does this person feel about me? How does that? And it's like, hey, that's not my job.
No.
You just do you, be
That's
the
it.
best you, and either people love it or hate it.
The haters gonna hate, man.
Yeah, and the haters is always gonna hate. They just
They are.
And somebody told me once. They messaged me because I was ranting out on Instagram talking about haters, and they're like, you got to pray for the haters.
Yeah.
You got to pray for them to heal
Yeah. Facts.
because they need healing too. They're in a position of pain, and that's why they saying the things they saying. They're unhappy,
They're unhappy.
And if I was raised by my grandma too, that we're all God's children, that God wants the best for each and every one of us. Just some of God's children just said, screw all that and da 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 da, and they're stuck in a path of destruction.
Yeah. And psychology of destruction. Yes, sir.
Of
Mindset.
self-sabotaging and keeping yourself down, and they want to keep others down. They say misery loves company.
Yeah. Yep.
So going back to the book, that's what this book is trying to see. It says right here, spiritual fast to detox from toxic thoughts, emotions, and people that eat away at your happiness and undermine your success.
So spot on. Everyone needs. I need that right
Yeah,
now.
everybody needs that.
everybody needs that.
That
That's
will
so
lift you up.
prescriptive. It's like that's what you need. That's
Yes.
what you need. No, this is medicine, bro. Medicine. Oh man. Okay.
And I definitely see the value of doing it with an accountability partner.
Yeah.
Yes, that helped me so much, and it helped my brother. Shout out to him because he's like, okay, because one day he did He drank
See what Amazon
and
talk about what I'm
smoked
saying, bro.
something or ate an edible. I forgot what he told me. And he's like, he told me he had to call my mother and let her know because he felt guilty. And then he wrote about it and he told me, he's like, hey, I just want to be honest with you. This is what happened. And I'm like, I'm proud of you, bro. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not knocking you. I don't think you're a bad person for that. I'm like, I'm glad that you're being honest because in the end, you're not doing this for me. Even though we are accountability partners, we're doing this for ourselves. You know, this is a personal journey. This is a personal thing. In the end, it's always you and you.
Facts. No facts.
Even though we could be a crew, we could be a team, a family, it's cool. But in the end, it's just you versus you.
Versus you. At all times.
You're born alone, even if you twin, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you still, it's you and you.
Yes, sir.
So that's like they say, it's all about self.
That's right.
Because that's the most important thing. You know, even how you feel about yourself. That's more important than you could. I know people that you could go up to them and be like, "Oh man, you're so cool," and then they're like, "Oh, I don't feel like that." You know, I don't feel great. I don't feel all that stuff that you're saying about me, and I'm just like, I don't know. You know? So it's like it's all about how you internalize yourself.
That's right.
And that's that conversations that you have that you need to have with God because we block God out. And then that's when Satan come in and be like,
Facts.
man, you ain't
And that's how Satan manifests himself. It's through your thoughts. Thoughts. It's through your thoughts. This is the self-sabotaging, second guessing those thoughts. And then when you give more energy into those thoughts, all of a sudden, you know, you're possessed. You know what I mean? You're possessed by a satanic spirit, and all of a sudden, it's hard for you to connect with what you and Allah want because you have allowed these deceptive thoughts to literally infect your brain like a virus.
Yes.
So, you know, and I'm just dealing with that. And it's like, these like deceptive thoughts, like I could feel them physically. Like I could feel them like, and there's a region of my whole body, in my head that I feel like this energy coming from. And I haven't been able to pinpoint like specifically why it's this region of my body, but I'm like, okay, there's something going on right here. And it's, I feel that pressure and that like, it's all of like, it's like my reactive mind. It's all of the trauma, all of the pain and torment. It's just in a specific region of my body. So I'm always asking a lot for assistance. Like, and this week has been the week of me actually having the cognition of that's not me. That is what has happened to me and what I have done negatively because of what has happened to me. So it's cause and reaction. So both of what I've allowed to happen to me to determine the bad things I've done to other people as well as the bad things that other people have done to me, all in one ball of torment, chaos, and pain. So that's not me, though. That's just what has happened to me. So I'm like asking Allah. And the thing about like this torment and pain, it has such a pull on your body that it takes over your thinking mechanism. If you would, it's easy. And then the daily battle is that Satan. I call it Satan. That devil. Yeah. That devil. That's what it is. Is that devil, and actually your spirit, your infinite spirit, that is God, jockling for who's actually making the decisions today. And I have noticed that if you're waking up with intention and not sleeping in, it's easier for the God to win out than it is for Satan. But if you're sleeping in, indulging in the BS, then it's easier for these deceptive slithering thoughts to take control of your nervous system, your body, and everything. All of a sudden, okay, now you're a devil today, right?
Let's say you planned yourself, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. to go run, right?
Facts. That's me.
And then let's say you slept in because in your mind it said that's the best thing to do right now. Yeah. Sleep in. This bed is so comfortable. So you're like, all right, I sleep in. Then you wake up that day and you feel like, man, I missed out that work. So now you regret. You're full of regret and you feel like crap. Yeah. Versus if you would have woke up, how would that day? You woke up early, you woke up on time, you did it. You're like, man, I feel great now. I did what I said I was going to do.
I did it. I'm a man of my word to myself.
Satan is a deceiver like that because he makes you think sleeping in would have been the better choice.
Facts.
But that was not. And in the Quran,
it feels right in the moment. It feels so good. It feels good. That's Satan.
Don't get me wrong. Them blankets be feeling.
It feels so good.
And you're like, nobody's gonna notice.
No one knows, bro. Like it's so warm.
But then it eats you up inside. You're like, damn.
It's 10 a.m. and shit. I'm like, oh man, fuck, I'm still in here. Oh well, today's gone. Right?
There's a verse.
What you were saying? Yeah.
There's a verse in the Quran where Shaitan, is that
Shaitan.
Shaitan. I don't remember word for word, but it says
Google it because I have the Quran right here. I'm gonna pull it up.
it says I'm gonna paraphrase. But
Makes evil fair seeming.
no, he says that there's gonna come a time where you're gonna be like, well, Satan told me to do it. He's like, I didn't tell you to do that. You know?
Hold up, yeah. It's,
You're like, oh, don't blame me.
yeah,
Don't look at
he's
me.
like, don't look at me, nigga. Like I came and they followed.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
hold
you
up.
go.
There we
Something
go.
like that.
Yeah.
And that's so deep to me. I think I had a screenshot, but I had so many things screenshot that. But that verse is so deep because it's like God is like, I told you. I told you. They told you it's full of BS. And he's like, yeah, I was.
I was cat, bro.
And you
followed me.
Yeah. It's not my fault. You was dumb and took that and put, did all that.
That's facts.
So
Man, yeah, there's a wording. I'm trying to think how it's worded. 'Cause I know exactly. It's a very powerful verse. So I'm gonna Google Quran, Satan. I called, you followed. Hope I get a verse for that.
damn, I think I erased it because I have to.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
You reading the Quran too?
Yeah.
You tapping with the Quran lately?
I haven't actually got a Quran or looked through it like that.
How'd you get in touch with this verse, bro? You remember?
Listen to the minister.
Oh man,
Yeah.
how did I hear that? Oh man, I can't recall exactly how. Cause me, it's like how you have your For You page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I have like a For You life, and like basically whatever I'm focused on, like those things will come to me. That's why I think it's very important to protect your mind. Like,
Yeah.
All right, you ready for this? I found it. This is chapter or surah 14, ayat or verse 22. So 14:22. It's called Abraham, the chapter. Surah is what it's called in the Quran. And the devil will say, when the matter is decided, surely Allah promised you a promise of truth, and I promised you, then failed you, and I had no authority over you, except that I called you and you obeyed me. So blame me not, but blame yourselves. I cannot come to your help, nor can you come to my help. I deny your associating with me with Allah before. Surely for the unjust is a painful chastisement. This is the devil talking.
yes,
This is the devil being like, I told you niggas, like you came.
yeah.
I ain't Allah.
You know
I know.
Allah's truth. You know I'm a lie and you still rock with
And you
me.
still facts.
So
And
what you want me to do?
What you want me to do?
Yes.
You know who I was. You knew who I was, and you still follow me. I know who Allah. I'm with Allah. You feel me?
Yeah.
Even that's the power. It's like even Satan knows what time it is.
That's the
Satan
thing.
knows what time it
Every
is.
like the Quran, Bible, they always saying, even the ones that rebelled, they still know who God is and His authority and power. They just mad or whatever. They just like, oh, let me at least try. I don't know what.
just try.
I don't
No,
know
let me
what.
just try.
I don't know
Fuck it
what
up.
they're thinking, but
Let me just see how many I can get. Fuck it.
yeah,
Fuck it, bro.
yeah. Like they having they're like a child that's like mad at the parent.
It's exactly what
And-
that's exactly what Satan is.
But they know the parent running there or whatever. They know like
It's daddy, bro.
all right, like they're gonna talk back and do whatever they gotta do.
It's your daddy, bro.
But then but in the end they know. Like even like they'll come back and be like, oh, I'm sorry, mom, I'm sorry, dad. Like even after walling out, like
After that, yeah, it's like you can't stun on your daddy, bro. Like no, it's like, and like the attitude of a parent is like, okay, all right, have fun with that shit. I know what's gonna
they
happen.
feel unfazed. Yes.
Unfazed. It's like, I know what's gonna
when
happen.
the truth is the truth, it's like, okay, go ahead and bump your head in the wall like that or whatever.
Go ahead.
I
Touch
already
touch the stove.
Told you
bro.
not to do that. Bam.
Okay, touch the stove. I know mathematics says that the stove is hot.
Yeah.
There's going to be action and consequence. So go ahead and test the mathematics of the universe and see how that turns out for you.
I read it's called the Book of Enoch. I didn't finish it completely again. I gotta finish that one. That was a great book. But there's a part where Enoch is explaining how
Keep talking.
yeah.
I'll be back.
okay.
Keep talking. Yeah, I'll be right back.
He's explaining how everything in our existence is already set, calculated and set. Like this is what's gonna happen, and this is. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear like, man, that means my destiny's determined. This, so if I make my foot's gonna go right, my foot's gonna go left. God already knows this.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It's already set. Like the righteous gonna be the righteous, the deceived are gonna be the deceived, and it's already set. And when I read that, I was like, damn, it gave me chills.
Yeah, Enoch a cold book.
It gave me chills because I was like, man, that's insane to think about, because a lot of experiences that I had in my life, I'm like, there's no way that was an accident.
Yeah.
There's no way that this and that happened. And there's times where, man, I could right now, there's times where I could have probably been doing life in jail for stupidity.
I understand.
Stupid.
By your circle, because of the circle you were potentially
From
close
growing
to?
up in LA, man.
One time I was with one of my
Don't incriminate yourself now.
Yeah.
First of all,
Incriminating.
don't goddamn, don't start telling these crime stories.
I'll be vague.
One time, me and my friend went to. He's like, bro, hold on, bro. Let's slow down for a little bit.
Good catch.
Yeah.
But I'll just leave it at that. There's
I'm
times
sorry.
where it could have been like,
Enoch,
man,
I
what are
wanted
you
to
doing
hear.
with this?
Sorry, I wanted to hear about Enoch. How
Okay,
did
so yeah, I have it's like a little booklet that I purchased, the Book of Enoch.
That's a lost book, right, or something? That's not-
Correct.
took out the Bible?
It got removed from the Bible.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like Ethiopian, something like that. Because the Bible's all in Kemet, Egypt.
Yeah,
so-called Egypt.
there's like a lot of books that's been removed from
That's where it all takes
from
place.
what we call the Bible, but there's many books.
Yes.
And like the Book of Enoch is one of those books that was taken out the Bible.
Okay.
So there's a verse where he's explaining that. Oh man, I wish I had it, but he says everything in the created world is calculated and set.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, what's everything that is meant to happen will happen.
Mm-hmm.
God already said it's already set in stone type
Yeah.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
So there's no going around it. So either it's like, so whether you want to go with the program or not, it's gonna happen.
That's right. No facts.
And when I read that, it just gave me chills because I was like, wow, I've heard things like this, like, but once I actually read it for myself, it was like eye-opening, like, whoa.
You've heard us talk about he who remains on the show, like the concept that God, it's not just God that is he who remains, but his will and his plan is he who remains. No matter what Satan tries and what alternative universe he creates with his devilishment, God still wins. So in all the alternative scenarios, all the infinite possibilities, God is on top in every single one of them. So that goes to what you're saying. It's like once God has something, God wills it, and it happens.
I got a question. I don't know if you guys can verify this, but when Satan got casted out, he took 1/3.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 1/3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if that's true, because
Is that Revelations? Or is that, do we know what that's?
I believe that's in Revelation.
Okay.
so there's a saying, the good outweighs the bad.
Okay.
If you-
Continue.
well, 1/3, that means there's 2/3 left. So there's 2/3 of good. So that's a lot of people have this illusion that, whoa, they look around, they be like, oh, evil's so powerful, evil's winning, and I'm just like, not really. You know.
So
they want to join the winning team, which is really not the winning team.
No, they think so.
They think
It's like you said, but go back to the foundation. Like it's the illusion. Like if you follow 1/3 because you think the 1/3 is better than the 2/3, then like
yeah,
that's on you.
that's all.
Like it's not the majority. It's only what you see or what you choose to give your attention to.
I'm gonna read it.
Exactly.
Revelation 12:4-9. 1 second. All right. Oh man, the woman and the dragon. We've read this on the podcast before. Remember that? We
That's
read it
something.
on-
The
yeah.
Revelations is
Yeah.
some shit, man.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
it is.
It's like some heavy. You got to be mentally prepared. It's not for kids.
Ah.
It's for like intelligent and in depth.
All right, you ready? This is deep. Okay. The woman and the dragon. Then I witnessed in heaven an event of great significance. I saw a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon beneath her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She was pregnant, and she cried out in the pain of labor as she waited her delivery. Suddenly, I witnessed in heaven another significant event. I saw a large red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns, with 7 crowns on his heads. 7 crowns on his heads. His tail dragged down 1/3 of the stars, which he threw to the earth. He stood before the woman as she was about to give birth to her child, ready to devour the baby as soon as it was born. Damn. So, question is, large red dragon, is that Satan? I think that's Satan, the ruler of this world. That's how I'm going to interpret it. 1/3 of the stars. What do the stars represent here?
I don't think it's the same thing that we were talking about, but for whatever reason, we opened up that. So
Yeah.
I don't know what it represents. That's some John. John was on some shit.
Yes, he
man.
was, sir. Yes, he was.
And mind you, these words are like translated words. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
understand.
it might not even been a dragon. You know what I'm saying? It might have been a helicopter. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It might have been like the English, like I said, trying to condense these words into English language is really,
Yeah.
we don't know.
We don't know.
You know,
We don't
because
know.
the Marionette deep. You know,
Yeah.
talk about the Marionette, like it's symbolism. So
How did we get to this specific verse in Revelation from Enoch? What was the tie? How did you bring this up? How is it the dragging of the 1/3?
he's talking about the 1/3 when Satan crashed down to earth.
Yeah.
He brought 1/3 of the angels with him.
Understood. Okay.
That's not the same verse.
Oh, so this one is not.
Nah, that's not what we talking about.
So what 1/3 did I say? I said 1/3 of the stars.
Yeah, he said 1/3 of the star. We talking about 1/3 of the of angels turn into demons, and how in the context of it might
Understood.
might
Okay.
seem like there's more negative than positive, but if you look at it objectively, there's much more positive than negative.
Understood.
It's just where we give our attention to,
No, I understand.
and that's how the negative works by getting your attention.
Because I hear a lot of people, I'll hear it here and there, like, man, I'd rather be on Satan's team.
You hear people say that?
Yeah, I hear people say that. Yeah,
Well, you
definitely.
are clearly. If you're thinking like that, you are already on Satan's team. I assure you, right? Like if you have the audacity to say, "I'd rather be on," you're on Satan's team.
Right.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
And we know where you stand, bro.
Exactly.
Like if you even have that, and I've heard people say that too. It's like, oh well, Satan sounds fun.
Yeah.
And let's be clear, Satan is fun. Satan feels good, and he's fun. And Satan convinces you that what is fun and what feels good is more important than what is responsible, and what is righteous and what is good. So we have a whole generation of people, and I've put this metaphor out where it's just like orgasms all the time for everybody, right?
Yeah.
We just want to get off. We just want to feel good. No responsibilities. Want to feel good. No real responsibility. No, I don't want to pay for the consequences of my choice. I just want to feel good all the time.
Right.
How does a civilization thrive when that psychology permeates through the masses and is supported by?
It doesn't thrive.
Exactly.
It succumbs.
It succumbs. It succumbs, and that's where we are.
But that's why I stepped into politics.
I understand.
Because it's like, you know, who going to lead the world? If we all think politics is evil, then we're going to have what we have now, which is senators for 50, 60 years. Our congressmen and women have been congressmen and women for 20, 30, 40 years, man. And it's
Right.
like, to me, it's like, dang, like, at what point do we step into, like, we're not kids no more. You know what I'm saying? We're not 18, 19 no more. We can't keep looking at all politics as them and they over there.
No,
like,
not at all.
We're grown, bro. You know what I'm saying? Our congressmen and our senators they've been in these positions for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, man.
Yeah.
Because we don't actively engage in this with the system.
Yeah. And from what I can see is like in the immediate 20, 30 year, we're still going to have senators and elected officials.
I
Like,
think
that's not
those
going,
should be us conscious people. All the metaphysical people should be the ones who we
and
put in these positions.
people think like they over
We
dramatize.
need consciousness in the
thank
white
you.
in the white in Congress.
And how do we know that's not Allah's plan? It's like, listen, the infrastructure is there. All you need is conscious people in these positions of power to literally change the world. Because you got to look at the bones and the republic, the constitutional republic system of America is a beautiful, like the 50 state republic and how they work and function objectively. It's dope.
It's
like,
high functioning.
It's high
That's
functioning.
what's like we talk about like anarchy
that's
and shutting down.
objective.
It's like
Yeah.
we're gonna the government's gonna fall. Like what does that even mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we have a federal, we have
Yeah.
we have a very very highly efficient, effective running government.
And that's
on a federal, state,
Thank you.
county, regional, city level.
Facts. And what I'm specifically talking
It's not
about,
gonna just
you,
stop.
You
Right.
can't ignore, and this is not, okay, also, I'm going to be very careful. We're not justifying the murder of the indigenous people.
I know,
So
sure.
we're not justifying
I'm
the enslavement of the
I'm
African.
indigenous.
I have to look at it objectively. I'm like, damn, like, okay, this Constitution is a cold piece of work. This constitutional republic where you have 50 states that are really 50 individual nation states that have their own separate autonomy, but also there's a federal overlay, and they've established a system of governance where you have representative by population and also just by state. It's a work of art, and objectively I respect the administration of this country. So that being said, I also know that God is going to win. Righteous will prevail, and people overly dramatize just like the apocalypse. But how do we know the apocalypse is not just all of our niggas get all these elected officials and the satanic mind, they just die.
Yeah.
And then
and we're actively
right? You know what I'm saying? Does
involved.
that make sense?
Right,
As
right.
opposed to hellfire, raining and burning, everything dying, and you got to start from scratch. That's not what's probably unlikely is going to be like that. Now I think there's going to be war. There already is war.
It's already going.
So there is going to be war, and I'd be very
been
clear.
wars, so.
For real. And I'm just like, okay, it's going to come.
And how do we know that a part of this political infrastructure, a part of what we're doing with this political infrastructure is the rematriarchy of bringing people back to the land, actively engage on land access, land tenure on a federal and state level
Yeah.
in real time.
Yeah.
And working with indigenous leaders
Exactly.
for years. Do you feel
Exactly.
me? To be able to make sure that these new things that come into place are just and ethical
Yeah.
once again on a state and federal level.
Absolutely.
So, like,
Yeah.
I'm with it, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's just the for me, like the notion of like the notion of the level, the more like you saying, you only been sober for 50 days, so it's like keep it in the context, and that's how I feel with the political energy of like I've grew up knowing a lot about politics. That's why I didn't get involved in politics because I grew up in a very political home,
Right.
And my parents are very conservative, and I grew up in a very liberal environment, so I always saw both sides. So, but I didn't want to get involved because I feel like nobody cared. I feel like it would be stupid of me to care about politics because nobody really cares. In my generation, like nobody really cares, you know. But then now that I'm really, really in it, and I'm seeing why they keep us not caring, right? Like they don't want us to care because it's billions of dollars over here,
Yeah.
and they want us to be mad. It's easier to have a bunch of people mad at the government, and they actively don't be a part of changing it to keep it running.
To keep the money flowing in the same circles.
Then it is to get people engaged, and then we figure it out together. But us being engaged and figuring it out together, we got so many wins very fast.
Yeah, we don't lose. We're just here. We're here now.
And me getting involved very, very fastly put me on a very, very high level. And then being at this high level, but then still like navigating being at this high level in this arena while still being in these spaces. You know what I'm saying? It's like
being in the hood.
yeah, it's a really interesting.
It's a very high, like
It's very interesting, bro.
federal and state policy, and then you got us selling plants in the hood, bro.
Yeah.
That's a very large chasm of societal. Like, there's lots of levels between street level vending and public policy making, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of our job is actually to get people to understand. It's like, yo, you can't, if you write off power and you're writing off access to millions of dollars and potential to extend to better your life. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
because that's really how
That's
most
your
things
shit.
get done.
It's your shit. If
Most
you're paying
things,
taxpayer dollars, that's your money. You have an entitlement to
Yeah.
actually put things together to get access to it to do shit that you want to do, bro. But if you have this attitude, oh fuck the government, nigga, you pay taxes, bro.
You were saying fuck yourself.
You,
Prevention.
that's exactly what you are saying.
like you said, those like self-doubting beliefs.
Yeah.
That's one of the, to me, that's one of the anarchist is the biggest self-doubting belief because it's not real. Like you got running water, you got an electrical grid. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we are actively a part of this system.
My whole thing, not to cut
No,
you
go ahead,
off,
go ahead.
but my whole thing is like, people want to be like, let's burn this down.
No, for real.
Let's do this, that. And I'm thinking to myself, and then what?
And then what?
Thank you.
Why
and
not?
then what?
Why not just control what's already here and make it better?
Yeah, not for real.
Why you gotta break it down, burn it down? Something that your ancestors built. That's number one.
Because you're an emotional ass child and don't think about cause and consequence.
And I understand, right? We have a racist institution. I do get it. It's hard. Why? Because, like I said with the other question, it's easier to think about burning this down than it is to deal with all of the difficulties it takes to get involved and recreate the system.
No, the burden,
That's hard.
the
I
bur-
do get it's hard
like-
because it is racist.
and then like actually having the art of administration, you got to think like being a ruler is administration. Actually having systems and departments, and it's boring.
It's not cool.
It's not
fun.
cool. It's not cool. It's not fun, and it's painstakingly difficult to do that shit.
It's not social media.
It's not social media at all.
I feel like that dopamine we get from social media and all these things
Yeah.
is what makes that hard.
Yes. No,
If we didn't have none of that to distract us, this would be like normal. That would be like, okay, yeah, let me. I just think back like how they would write Constitution by hand, and I'm like, and now we can't even, we need a spell check auto type
For real,
that
bro.
that app you said the.
Chat GPT.
No, for real.
For real.
No, I'm with
Think
you.
about it, but
No.
back then like, they didn't have none of that. They were just like, all right, just
Writing perfect cursive script on parchment paper.
You know how
Writing
much
actual bills, like and like for real, I feel you, like really writing laws and bills,
Writing laws. I have a quick question.
and amendments, writing amendments to the
that for
bill.
years was like, that's a great idea. That lasts for years. Not like, okay, now we're gonna switch it next month. No, like this is a great generation idea. Like,
Yeah.
centuries. This idea is perfect.
That's crazy, bro. Like that the Constitution was written.
Yeah.
And that talk about bringing like written words to matter. Like holy shit.
Yeah.
The foundation of this country was written words. Like
Yeah.
cursive script on parchment paper set up the foundation of this shit's crazy.
Yeah.
That's real, right? No, that's real. And I was gonna ask you, when you said like you have problems writing, is it like do you have the same problems typing, or is it specifically the practice of writing?
Putting my thoughts, expressing my thoughts on paper. But people be like, oh, you talk well, you speak well, you have.
That's like him. Yeah. And so it comes out with typing as well too. You have the same sort of like you call it like writer's block.
You know what it is?
Blockage.
I even noticed this like before I try to write raps, right? I'll write like a bar.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, that bar's hard. But then I couldn't continue.
I feel you, bro. No, I feel you.
Like my flow just stopped because I had to focus on jotting it. Is that
yeah,
make
no,
I
I
sense?
understand.
Yeah, I feel you.
So like even when I write something, like I want to write like a story, a letter, or somebody, like I'll be like, yeah, how you doing? Da 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 da. And then I'm like, and then like I'll switch subjects,
Oh, I feel you.
and like it
You
just
jump.
won't make sense after
jump.
a while. It's just
Yeah.
a whole bunch of like,
I feel you.
you know what I'm saying?
So I
Like,
guess it's like how do you? It's easier to have that initial spark of energy. How do you continue to? So you have a spark of energy, and you're like fanning the flames to continue the fire. It's the fanning of the flames, right?
Yes.
Because think about this: when you're fanning flames, you got smoke. There's a whole bunch of chaos.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of smoke, and so I think when we start fanning flames, we see the smoke, and then it's like, oh, the smoke. I don't see fire. I quit. You know what I mean?
or like you get it lit, and then you're like, yeah, and then it dies out. You're like,
Yeah.
Or you're like, oh man, I should have kept fanning it. I
Yeah.
should've
Or,
kept-
or you fanned it too hard. You got too aggressive, and you're just like, you weren't patient with the process. You didn't have a technique. Maybe that's the formula. You need technique.
There's a verse,
Myself included.
There's a verse that's
Bible.
yeah, that's my people perish for lack of knowledge, which I think is okay. Have you guys ever seen the movie called Idiocracy?
No.
No,
That's with Bill Maher, right? Is that Bill Maher or is that who's the main dude?
it was written by the
Is that a read? I gotta watch that.
oh man,
Hold up.
Idiocracy.
My people perish for the lack of knowledge, right?
Yes.
Let's see. Hold up. Let's get that.
Okay.
Hosea 4:6. Let's read right here. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy Lord. I will also forget thy children. Hosea 4:6.
And the law of God is politics or law of the land.
Yeah.
That's why you're a landlord and
Yeah.
so forth. All the laws and all that stems from the holy books.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Pick one, don't matter.
Yes,
you
sir.
know?
The premise of this is like these people who are just regular people are now the smartest people on the whole planet.
But everybody else is so dumbed down to the point where you have to watch it. It's gonna blow your mind if you've never seen
Is it
it.
John Stewart?
It's like a fun. No, it's Luke Wilson.
So here's
Okay.
a
But it's like funny. It's a funny movie.
I would say it's funny. But
Satire.
the creator of it is Mike Judge.
There, Mike Judge. Okay, what's it called?
Idiocracy.
Idiocracy.
Yeah, I just read I just read the little
Because when I first saw, I had like heard of it, but I was like, "What is that?" Whatever. And then I finally watched it, and it just like blew my mind because it clicked. It's an exaggeration of our time because it's like you're saying, Temu, like nobody cares about taking control, learning the steps by steps. They're too like, I just want to see, I don't know, something.
No, I know.
And,
I know.
And it's like there's a part of the movie. I don't want to say too much, but
Mike Judge. Hold on, let me be clear. It's funny that someone who had you were aware of Beavis and Butthead, right?
Yeah.
I never watched Beavis and Butthead because I was just like, man, this seems really dumb. But now that I'm actually looking, Michael Judge is like the author of Beavis and Butthead. He did Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill. You ever watch King of the Hill?
Yes.
You ever watch King of
Oh,
the
so
Hill?
this is that guy.
It's that guy.
Okay.
King of the Hill, Beavis and Butthead, and Office Space.
oh really?
Bro.
Really?
No, not The Office. Office Space. That's a movie. Office Space. is a
Oh,
movie.
Office Space. Yes, I was thinking The Office.
Okay.
No,
so
yeah.
this dude's actually a very intelligent dude.
That's the part I wanted you to say. Yes, he's a rocket scientist.
Is he? Oh, let's find out. Georgian Oh,
In the movie,
No, in real life.
no, he's a very
the director.
Oh, he's
Yes, the creator.
He studied physics at UC San Diego. Oh, he's a scientist.
And make TV shows.
Bro.
No, he's very. I already know just from. Listen. As soon as I saw his list, he's on one. He's very intelligent.
good. He's what?
He's good.
His work is
No, and now
Like-
And he made Beavis and Butthead.
that's what I'm thinking. Like Beavis. Now that I'm thinking about Beavis,
he did the voices too.
Beavis and Butthead is so absurd and
Yes.
ridiculous. Now I have to go back and watch it and see what was he really saying in
Yeah,
that show.
exactly.
You feel me?
Yeah,
Because have you seen it? Like it's absurdly like.
I looked into what he meant
absurd.
by that show, and he was.
What'd he say? What'd he
so
say?
he's saying he's like the reason why I created that is because he feels that, like I said, that verse, people perish for lack of knowledge. He's like they don't care no more. They're just like, they're just like,
It's satire. Beavis and Butthead is
they're
satire.
just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
like you know,
talk like.
you know, they're just like whatever.
I need TP
Yeah,
for
yeah,
my
and it's-
cornholio. Like,
and he's like, he's like, because he said he tried to have a conversation with some teenagers, and he was like, what is wrong with y'all?
would those
So
teenagers be
that
with
like
Butthead?
sparked, yeah. So it like sparked it,
and
like
they turn
he's
around
like-
and they love this show.
So
and he made
he's
means
making fun of everybody,
making
or
fun of
like
everybody.
exposing like
yeah.
this
and
is
it,
This is what it is.
it's like Star Wars to me. Like Star Wars is like his set. Star Wars was his perspective of politics, and it was the metametric. Because like that's how I look at Star Wars. Star Wars is politics.
I've never
You never been Star
I've
Wars. Is
never
deep. Star
have,
Wars,
and I've
Star
heard
Wars is
so many
the
good
top
things
of the
about
top to me of like the depths of our political infrastructure. Star Wars.
I need to get for me to really enjoy something like that. I would have to get like how you're saying right now, like tell me that, and then
Yeah,
now I could
nah, like,
even without it, it'll be good.
You got to really look at Star Wars from the meta nature, which is Asyr, right? Set, the Jedi, the Jed is Osiris. Set,
Darth
Sid.
Vader.
Set is so Darth Vader is Osiris.
Oh, see, that's a twist right
Darth
there.
Darth Vader is essentially the Huru, right? He's the Huru who becomes Osiris.
And that's all from the first movie, or you had to watch?
You gotta watch all the
okay,
trilogies.
yeah.
It's the meta nature. It's a long story.
Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah.
The first movie is Anakin as a kid. It goes from Anakin as a kid to Anakin as like a teenager to Anakin as a young man, and then that's when he goes into the dark side. And then you got episode 4, which is like the when he first released him, he didn't start from the beginning. He started from the middle. So Luke and Leia, that's the middle of the story.
Anakin is Luke.
Anakin is Darth Vader.
Oh, okay. See, that's how much I don't really know.
Oh, you weren't on Star Wars? That wasn't the thing?
No.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
Superstar. I grew up Superstar.
The only thing close to was Spaceballs. Y'all ever seen that?
Yeah, I seen it. I seen
Okay.
it.
That's satire, right? That's satire.
It's like
Star Wars.
a parody. No, it's not a parody.
It's a parody. They're definitely making fun of like Star Wars.
I've always
It was
had,
hilarious though.
I've
I used to watch
always-
it as a
I
kid.
love that movie.
I've always looked at Beavis and Butthead. I didn't realize it was satirical because it was so absurd as a child. I'm like, what is this trash?
Yeah.
The highest level of satire.
It's the highest level of satire. He's like, no, this is
you don't even
America.
know it's satire.
No, it's like he's saying this is the youth is what he was saying.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, dude, he's so right. And I was repulsed in the same way I was repulsed as like dumbass kids in high school and like middle school. I was like, man, you guys are fucking dumb. You guys are dumb. But now I'm saying like, yeah, this is America.
And I
bro.
think like you were saying,
This is
like
crazy.
I don't think that
I really respect him now.
I don't think people don't care about politics. I think that number one difference about this generation is they've been kind of shown that like a man seeking power is wrong and evil, right? Like seeking power to change your destiny is like toxic.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
and
toxic
like
masculinity.
the highest level of like seeking power to change your destiny is politics. It's business and politics.
Thanks.
And we've been kind of shown any man who's striving to become, and not only man, but it's a masculine trait to want to strive to become. But I think it's more any man who's striving to become a business leader is toxic, and all women should now strive to become business leaders, and that's not toxic. That's what they've been shown.
Yeah,
right?
I've
You're
caught
right.
that,
Like,
Yeah.
women
I have
should
caught
all
that.
become bosses, and any man who's trying to become a boss is misogynistic and patriarchal.
There you go.
I'm gonna read to serve your point. I'm gonna read the definition of politics. Politics, noun: the activities associated with the governance of a country or other area, especially the debate or conflict among individuals or parties having or hoping to achieve power.
And I think that part, it's the part of like politics you have to accept is like it's debates, it's smear. You have something to lose when you get involved in politics, right? You have like you can, like we will watch all these commercials of like, oh, such and such did such and such and such and such, don't vote for him. Like that's normal, but that's a part of politics. They could literally
smear campaigns you're
the
talking
smear
about? Okay,
campaigns
okay.
is like you have to be prepared for like. Oh, you had a
Pull up
DU.
your dirt. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
bro.
gonna
And
pull up your
it'd
dirt,
be on
yeah.
Channel 5.
Yeah,
And it just be a
yeah,
running
totally.
ad.
Yep.
It just be every commercial. Such and such. Oh yeah, he was whooped you out. He was at the strip clubs last week.
Yeah.
Don't vote for him.
Hey,
He was,
facts.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't like this generation. I think they're just not like. I think it started with our generation of like not wanting to actively be a part of the political like infrastructure, like getting involved in it. Like we kind of participate, like go vote, but not like collectively like go actively be a part of this.
And put things together to build
Yeah.
actually the art of projects and campaigns.
Yeah, of how it works. We're not a part of the infrastructure. Like we're not a part of like, hey, let's collectively work with our assembly member and get things on the budget. Let's collectively work with our congresswoman and get things on the budget. Let's collectively learn about like our political infrastructure. It's not a part of our common knowledge
Yeah,
anymore.
there's no ascending the levels of power in this country without engaging in politics.
Like I think if you
Right.
if you really
The definition.
There's
alone
definition.
says
But I think
it.
if you really
Yeah.
really ask
That's what I'm-
100 people, what is the difference between a congressman and a senator? I really think 95% of people wouldn't know the real answer. Like, what do congressmen do, and what do senators do? I really think most people don't know. If you ask most people, name me 10 assembly members,
Oh, that.
most people just wouldn't know.
I know.
And me, that's not a slight to the individual person, more so a reflection of the way we have been removed from our political infrastructure. Right?
The disconnect.
So it's not like a judgment. It's an observation
What it
of
is.
like, this is how politics works. So as much as I do, I kind of, I think I heard Shaq say something like, because they asked like, oh, when you said that about this one dude, you know, you was wrong for saying it. He like, no, like, you can't, with this generation, you can't always big up people. You gotta kind of a little bit of like put a fire on the ass. So when I talk about politics, a little bit of it was like me putting the fire on the ass. Not necessarily saying y'all stupid and y'all don't care about politics, but like a little bit of like, I gotta come at you a little sideways so that way you can be like, you know what, like motivate people. I want to motivate people to get involved in politics.
You did the homework and
Yeah, it's like because you can't you can't access power without playing politics, bro.
We can't, bro.
You
Right.
can't. No.
yeah, you took the guts to get up there and go and speak.
Yeah.
Versus other people that just probably got like some thought in their mind, they don't say, or they're not even thinking about it. Which I think that's the majority.
It's
They're not
just-
even
yeah.
thinking
It's just
about
not-
it.
exactly.
They hoping.
That's it. They ain't
They're like,
thinking about
they're like, I hope these people that went to Harvard
Yeah.
are figuring out the world for us.
Yeah.
I could kick back, drink a beer, and
Facts.
don't worry about
and
it.
be Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's also
bro, peep
the
this.
circus.
It's-
The circus was created for a reason. The circus was
Facts.
created so the politicians and the rich could deal with that, and the poor could have fun.
and be Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill.
Yeah,
I'm now
it's a real thing.
he's saying this Mike Judge, he's a genius, bro. He's
Yeah.
saying a lot because Beavis and Butthead are grown up versus the King of the Hill, bro. Like
Oh shit! I didn't even think about
right?
That.
You seen
I
no,
was
you know
like,
King of the
yeah,
Hill, right?
King of the Hill, yeah.
Like the niggas just
Lil
sitting out here
Bobby.
drinking beer.
Every episode.
Even that music.
And John Redcorn,
Man, I'm
too.
thinking like the music is very similar. This King of the Hill and then the Beavis and Butthead theme song was you remember?
I can't remember that. The Beavis and Butthead. Oh yeah, it was like something like it was like a guitar thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, what was it? Yeah, Beavis and Butthead.
I don't know the theme song. I didn't have cable growing
I'm
up.
not good with melodies.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got because now I got King of the Head stuck in my head.
I grew up rich. I didn't have cable. I grew up poor. We didn't get cable without
Niggas had Beavis and Butthead. I was fucking rich, bro.
It's MTV, right?
Yeah, I'm saying I didn't have cable.
Oh, okay. So I just remember this. Since you've never seen Idiocracy, that's a great film.
I'm
to
gonna watch it. I kind of want to watch it tonight, but I think I should go to sleep.
Bit
Yeah,
late.
we should cut this off pretty soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
you
gonna
know,
come.
feel-
Yeah, we should.
Because honestly, I feel like I could be here all night. This is
No,
amazing.
No, this is how this is the vibe, bro.
I know we have to intentionally stop. If we don't officially say we have to end it, we'll just not. We'll be like last week. We was here till 3:30, 4 in the morning, bro.
Wow.
Talking.
I can't hear because the sound. What is it'll come to me.
What was you about to say though?
Yeah, go.
So the main character, so he gets. I don't know if I'm ruining it, but
You're not gonna ruin it. Trust me. You could tell me the whole movie and it won't ruin. That's how I am.
Okay,
You could tell me the whole plot and I'll still enjoy the movie.
well, the main character pretty much, since everybody has, it's like goes into the future. Everybody has been like dumbed down or whatever. So he is like considered like the most intelligent man on the planet, and he gets involved in politics. The president's like, "Oh, bring him. He's smart. Da 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 da. He got ideas that we're going down pretty much, and he has ideas. Like, you gotta watch it, but I'll just say that much. So it's like you said, like the world is waiting for people to use their mind because we have been Beavis and Butthead for so long.
Man.
Beavis, we are, you know.
And I have to embrace that too. Like I have a lot of ideas, and I used to think that was normal, and I had to learn that that's not normal, and I had to learn how to be mindful. How did I use this for like, how do I'm innovative.
Make it normal.
I'm innovative.
Yeah.
So I have to learn how to like, okay, I can use my imagination. What are my strengths and what are my limitations? Right? One of my limitations is like Adam said, I'm not an administrative nigga. That's not me. My mind don't work like that. Now I accept that I have to do it, which is why I have staff. Shout out to Amparo. Why? Like I know
Shout out to Amparo.
these administrative
Praise the
things,
good Lord Jesus Christ
these
for
things
Amparo.
have to get done, right? And I have to, and they're not free. I have, if this is my limitation, it's not free. It has to get done though. But my strengths are,
Gotta send emails, bro.
I have a very vivid imagination. I'm great at organizing. I'm great at outreach.
Communicating.
I'm creative.
Ideas,
I'm
articulating
communicating.
ideas. Yeah.
Right. I'm a visionary. I can and I'm an advisor. And I'm a consultant because I have lived experience and I have a lot of knowledge and I have a lot of work. I have a body of work.
Yes.
So I've learned how to turn these body of work into books, into ebooks, into workshops, and then turn those ebooks and workshops into these are things that can go before me to continue to validate my work. You know what I'm saying? Just turn this game I got into something that I can show I can give you more game, and then turn these more game things I've given to show I can give more game, and then to show turn these things of all these games I've given, like, hey, if I'm giving game here, then I can give you some game because they paying me to give them game. So okay, let me turn that into this. Okay, hey, I got this. Everybody here I'm giving game here, so nigga, I can give you some game too. You know,
It's the art of leveraging your assets.
Yeah.
Continually to continue to leverage what you got to get more, and then adding that to your empire to keep leveraging what you've done to get more and more and more.
Yeah.
And then there's no playing this game. That's the game of politics. It's actually taking stock of resources, looking at an objective, looking at the adversary, and coming up with objectives to get more resources that someone else that are over here. That's politics is how you navigate the universe of power.
while also making sure that when we get this, like, do great at it. You know, like body. When you get this opportunity, don't fuck it up don't get it. Okay, I got it now. Let me immediately start leveraging it to get something else. But like, do great at this so that way you can have rapport and you can have testimonials and you can have people who will continue to recommend you. So that way when they go check your references, they can go back and check and then they can be like, oh nah, yeah, rock with them. You feel me? And then
Facts.
move forward. You know what I'm saying?
Because this is our home, and it's basically like you're taking care of the home through your ideas and implementing those ideas.
Facts.
That's how we have to look at it. Because I feel like a lot of people look at politics like, oh, they have it, and they all this.
Yeah, it's a lot of them and days.
And it's like you're making it sound like it's way over here when you're at the table. You could be at the table too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you have to go there.
And
you have to insert yourself.
And a part of it is with
Very
that
good
them them and the days are the them and the days telling you it's them and days so they can stay them and
Stay
days.
over there and then have control and power
And that's
over
my
your
point.
bitch ass.
And I feel you because I do know when we step in, then we get looked at as a them and the day. And that's what I've experienced. Like I got turned into a
Yeah, for real.
And it's like, how am I a them in the day when I live here?
Yeah,
Like you said,
right.
I'm not a them in the day.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I'm a us. Who's trying to bring us here and then trying to bring this back to us.
Yes, exactly. the people is the power too. Like you're part of it too. Even though you're not in the office with me or whatever, you are what we're working for.
Yeah.
So you also have even though you think you don't have a part to play, you do have a part to play.
Yes. That's right.
Everybody has a part to play.
Yes.
That's right.
It could
They
be-
only work for us, and they only going to help push the projects of people who bring them projects.
That's right.
If we don't bring them nothing to put no money behind, they can't go get no money for us.
Facts.
And then the money just stays with the them and the days. The them and days getting the money because them and days are coming with proposals, projects, plans. This is how much I need the money. I need the money. And mind you, I'm just, like you said, I'm just not learning this different part. So it's not coming from it's not coming from a condescending. It's coming from a like, hey man, like, hey, I'm seeing what's going on.
We're the bridge.
Let's go.
Come on.
Yes.
Here,
You feel
let
me?
us help you set some up.
It's not
We'll
like
be the bridge, the conduit to get these funds for your projects and to hire your people
My homie told me, he
of
said,
your taxpayer dollars.
I'm not a gate.
Exactly.
I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm a key holder. Like I'm not being like, oh, you got to come to me to get over here. I'm like, no, man, it's busting over here. You feel me? Like let's all come over here. If you don't come over here with me, cool. But if you want to come, you don't need me to come over here. But just if you need an entry level to get here, you can tap in with us. And I'm learning how to actually working on creating curriculum, creating books, courses that way where people could just get the crash course to advocacy, the crash course to how to get involved in the political infrastructure, how to get involved in politics, where you don't even have to call me or talk to me or none. You could just read this book and send these emails. You know what I'm saying? Or go look up these 4 different organizations and figure out which one of these 4 different organizations you want to join.
Right.
You know.
And here's another thing that I thought about it, and then I counter thought my thought, and I was like, instead of simplifying things, we as a people shouldn't want to be like, oh, it's too complicated. No. You should realize, okay, now I gotta really step it up.
Yeah, facts.
Don't like, let's say you're running a course, don't make the course easier, make yourself stronger.
I feel you.
No,
Like, and then seeing someone like you do it is like there's a old thing. I don't know why I keep going back to running, but it's like they said the fastest mile was. Let's just say 5 minutes, and then somebody ran it at 4:20, and then they were like, "Oh, that was impossible." And then but once he did it, everybody behind him did it.
Exactly. To
And
where
then
it become
now
the standard.
there's this new Olympic runner. She beat that.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you, like,
beat the mile record got broke.
yeah, right. She was like I
When?
remember she got kicked out of the Olympics for smoking marijuana
Oh, it was Alex and Felix?
No, but that wasn't the mile.
or
She was
something.
a sprinter. Yeah, the girl.
Something.
Yeah, the little.
But she broke a record.
It was Alex and Felix, right?
No. More recent. Long fingernails. She's
Not Takar. Talking about Richardson? Takar Richardson?
I think her,
Richardson?
yeah.
Her?
I think so. I don't know that
that's
name.
the
And
name.
the college LSU?
I'm not sure she went to LSU. LSU is the girl that just played basketball.
But she
like-
was
No, she went to LSU
Oh,
too.
really?
she would have
Oh.
her nails done as well, right? Like
Yeah.
you said.
I thought you were talking about Alex and Phoenix.
No.
Who was an actual like Olympian.
This woman, Richardson is her name, I believe.
Yeah, she wasn't an Olympian. She didn't make
okay.
the Olympics.
Oh, okay. Well,
She didn't make the
the
Olympics.
point
The point.
is that once you exceed once you do something that people thought was unbelievable or unreachable, other people's like, wow, I could do it too. And,
Yeah.
and you're a great example of that.
And for me, I didn't think it was unreachable because I didn't think people thought that. I thought it was unreachable. I wrote about it in a book, and we gave that book away for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally wrote in the book, this is my attempt to work on getting land and fixing the agricultural landscape in California and having access to the USDA in the book 4 years ago. To me, so it's like, I've been saying I wanted. This isn't something I just woke up one day. I've been working on this for years, and I said I was going to do it. How are you surprised that I'm doing what I said I was going to do?
No, facts.
Can I speak for the people real quick?
Go ahead. Speak for the people.
I'm gonna speak for the people,
Speak for the
like
people.
for the Beavis and Buttheads. No, real talk.
No, real talk, bro.
And just like, it's not an insult. It's just accept it. They not gonna read. They gonna want a movie.
No, facts.
I'm with
They
you.
gonna want
He's right.
pictures.
Facts.
But like we said earlier, like you said earlier, that's why
Which
I'm
is
working.
sad. I mean,
No, that's the truth.
But that's why I'm working on this documentary.
documentary.
That's more because I feel you. I agree. I agree. Right? Like, if I want to make this mainstream, I have to make it mainstream.
Yeah.
I can't say mainstream. Like with politics, I know I can't say everybody come over here.
Yeah.
And look at this
Look at this.
200-page budget
Yeah,
report.
I understand.
That's
I understand.
boring, and it's boring for a reason, to make sure it stays with the theys and thems. Like,
Right.
this ain't for regular niggas, bro. This is for us.
I do know, like you
Right.
said, I know that there are. I just gave some of these reports to like the LA mission. I was talking to the people that work at the LA mission.
Yes.
And I gave them some reports, and they was very grateful and thankful. And like, man, we appreciate you just having access to these reports from on a county level and being able to introduce us to these people. So like you said, I know like the levels of like, I know the work that we do is important, and I know the work that we do is important at high levels. And so it's always hard because you'd be like, oh, that ain't, like, oh, nobody care about that politics stuff. It's like, no, people care about it.
They do.
They might, like you said, the Beavis and the Buttheads might not care about it.
But the art is making it palatable to Beavis and Butthead, and
Yeah.
the formula is what's the bridge? Movies,
And
documentaries.
yeah.
Make it in a way it's accessible and they give a shit about it. That's it.
Because I've been always from the hood, but I've always been like, I'm a child prodigy, and I have to accept that. Like, I've always been like a genius. I've always been like really, really, really smart, and I just have to navigate how do I be really, really, really smart around people. How do I actively be like the smartest person in the room around everybody else and not be like, look at me, I'm the smartest person in the room.
Right, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Ever since I was a kid, I had to, and that's what I had to like heal from that, because a lot of that trauma made me like Beavis and Butthead myself.
Because
I don't want nobody to, oh shit, I don't want people to think I'm a nerd because then I gotta fight
or
I gotta,
make them feel bad.
Yeah.
They'll start
Yeah.
they'll start attacking you.
Exactly,
Stuff like
bro.
that.
Then I gotta like put my then the hood nigga gotta come out of me, and I gotta be like, nigga, I'm still a hood nigga. I still fight you, nigga. Just because I'm brilliant don't mean I'm like, nigga, soft.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But then growing up, like embracing that because I still have Beavis and Butthead tendencies. Like so it's not like I don't look at everybody like they're dumber than me. I just know I'm a brilliant person, but I still come from this environment and have these same traumas, triggers,
Psychological
yeah, it's like
tendencies.
we're all in this together. I'm just trying to figure out, hey, I found a way. Hey, I see what's going on. And then also I know like I have elders who developed me. Like Dr. Ross been preparing me for this. So I can't dishonor my teachers who paved the way and put me in these positions and introduce me to these people and make these phone calls and set up these meetings for me to, they've been working with me for years to get to these levels. I didn't just wake up one day and be in these positions.
Yeah.
It was a lot of behind the scenes work. So it's like, for me, like I gotta push forward. I gotta break that ceiling. Cause to some people, like you said, like some people, like it's like they know, like there's more to get done. When I talk to Dr. Ross, it's like, oh man, I ain't did shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? We got way more to go. This nigga retired and can't, and still he did so much shit retired than we've been able to,
Yeah, when I talk to him, it amazes me.
in the prime of my life versus what he did after he did all the phenomenal things. Then he's like, well, let me come back and do some more real nigga shit because I'm bored. I'm bored, so let me do some crazy real nigga shit.
Bro.
Yeah.
So like we gotta build upon those bridges too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's getting late. I want to close with talking about because we went on this political tangent after you talked about not smoking that blunt and not taking a shot at the party.
Yes.
And it's like when I'm going to pose to, I had the same, when I cut off, for me, my steps was starting intermittent fasting, doing one meal a day. And I was like, okay, it feels good. Why would I go back to eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I feel good now, right? So I'm like, yeah, I could, and I had those temptations. I'm hungry, but I'm like, no, the benefits of staying the course outweigh the temporary satisfaction from a bite to eat. You know what I'm saying? So it went from that to then cutting out meat to being vegetarian. And then, but even before that, it was no more drinking, no more smoking. So the question I'm asking you right now is like, why go back? You feel me? Because I know like you're still on the fast. So I'm just like, why not keep it pushing?
Oh yeah, the fast stopped like 2 days ago, 1 day ago, and it's funny because I had I read it said I saw like a picture with a message, and it's on social media, Twitter, I believe. It said, "Dear me, don't go back to your old habits just because they're familiar."
Bro, boom. You saw that after the fast ended?
Right, yeah. Almost like right
That's
before, like a day before it ended.
That's exactly what I'm imploring you. I was like, there's no need to go back just because it's over. Like, just know you're at a new level. Don't toggle back, don't down. It costs. And that's what I'm asking you. Is like, what argument is there to go back to where you were when you know you're better off at this trajectory? You know what I'm saying?
There was a time where maybe 2 weeks into the fast, or no, like 3, where I was like, all right, at the end of the last day, I'm gonna celebrate with like a beer or something.
I feel you.
But like a week before the fast, I was like, no.
Yeah,
you're like, why go right? Why waste all this time?
Yeah.
Go right back. Why is that why celebrate by relapsing?
Yes.
You feel me?
Yes, exactly.
for real.
Because at first I just did it because it was part of the book, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I just started to realize like this is deeper than the book.
Yes.
It's way bigger than that.
It's your soul, bro.
It's a
Yeah.
soul fast.
The soul fast.
It's a
Oh,
soul
yeah.
fast, bro. I'm
Like
actually
your
gonna,
inner
I
who
am-
you really are
So-
beyond all that. You
So
know?
writing things down, getting to see all the stuff that triggered me, all the stuff that I held in and never told anyone, it made me realize, like, it gave me a relief. And it made me realize, like, wow, I am special. Like, I am great.
You are.
I don't need to.
Absolutely.
I don't need to lower my standards.
No, bro.
To fit in or.
Nah, bro.
or to make other people, like you said, make other people feel comfortable.
gotta
Like,
take
oh,
that-
you're not drinking, you think you're better than us. Oh, you're not.
No, facts. That's real. That's real, bro.
And you know what's interesting? That party that I didn't take the shot or whatever, dude. Everybody was proud of me and my wife.
Damn.
Like
versus-
that thing of people ain't gonna like us. A lot of that is like intern, like you said,
No,
the beliefs.
facts.
When people are like, like you said, when people want to be inspired, people are like, no, if Robert could do it,
Yeah,
man, you know what?
But they
I
were
could do
proud
it
that
too.
y'all weren't drinking.
yeah.
That's
they were
what's
like,
up, bro.
That is inspiring, bro.
That
I
is
ain't gonna lie. It is
inspiring.
Like,
inspiring,
like
bro.
my brother-in-law for
'Cause you got that fire, bro.
Yeah, my brother-in-law from
That
my
good
wife's brothers would be like, "Hey, Rob, you stopped smoking too?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Man, I could only
I
dream
wanna
about
try,
something
I
like
wanna-
that."
Yeah, no, for real. That's what people feel.
They're like,
real.
"Man, I can't even."
I didn't know
like,
that's
you know,
possible.
like
It's real, bro.
They didn't even say I was gonna try. They were just like, "Man, I wish I could have that will or whatever."
No, for real, like,
because that's tough. And
It's difficult. Discipline, manifested discipline is very difficult in this world when everything's at your fucking fingertips.
Man,
all the time,
I
bro.
say, look, in my book, Your Taste Buds Not Your God. Discipline and accountability, if it forces you to be in a position of leadership.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Because people go from, oh man, that's whatever, to like, hey, how did you do it, bro?
Facts.
You look up and people start coming to you.
Yes.
But that's why it's important to educate and inform yourself, because now you're able to not go from rhetoric. Now you're able to go, hey, you know what? These things help me. Hey, I can, like, it puts you in a position of leadership because you're informed, and then you have discipline, and then you got accountability. You got people around you who have shown that they love you and that you love. And naturally, everybody that's seeing that is going to be like, damn. And then, like, over time, you see it's going to be like,
I got more respect
you get more respect.
from doing that versus when I thought I was getting respect from chilling and being part of it.
No, facts, bro.
They saw you, man. You made it's almost like you made it out the like the crab in the bucket. Like,
Yeah.
man, you made it out the bucket.
made it out, bro.
You're a leader now.
You're a leader.
You made it. You took to
But
another
you've been
level.
a leader. You've been a leader. You just,
So-
maybe you more so embracing that.
Right. Because it's like you
'Cause
said.
I've been seeing you as a leader.
You made a perfect example how you said earlier, like, you know, I would lower myself down around certain people. Like, even when I started to eat healthier, like I even self-sabotage myself with my health because, like, I kind of got annoyed of like, oh, you just eat rabbit food. And it will get to me. Even people that like love me or love me would be like, I know you don't eat this, but I still made you this.
Of course, bro. It's hard.
It's almost like they
It's hard.
think that you're
No, but what it is if you don't, if the part of discipline is if you show an established discipline, now I have to show an established discipline.
That's what
I
it
don't
is,
want to
huh?
be disciplined.
Yeah.
So I'm going to help you not be disciplined so that we can both not be disciplined.
So you can lower your standards.
I don't
to
want
mine.
you to hold me accountable, so I'm not going to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
like, oh, you don't cheat on your girl? Damn, no, I can't.
No, exactly. No,
bro,
literally, yeah,
Bro.
yeah.
Damn.
No,
did it.
yeah.
That's exactly what
It's the
that
same
is.
thing with food, though.
It's the exact same thing.
My family would do it to me a lot, and I had to like be okay with it. I had to be okay with it, or be like,
You gotta have tough skin to be a leader. You gotta, you had to
gotta
really
have tough
be.
skin to
You
be a
gotta.
leader.
That's why you have to focus on yourself so
Facts.
much and be like, I'm okay with me.
That's right.
I'm okay with me. Because if you're constantly looking for that validation, ooh, that will put you back down.
Back down. Because you're looking for validation for people operating at a lower standard.
from Beavis and Butthead.
And then they're looking.
Facts,
and
bro.
then,
Facts.
And then the crazy part about
Beavis
it.
and Butthead can't validate you.
No, fuck
Trust me.
no.
And the crazy part about it is they need you.
I know.
Facts.
They need you to be you. That's the crazy part. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, damn, they need someone that they could be like, wow, okay.
For the good and the bad. Sometimes they need that person to blame. They need that leader to say it's wrong because of the leader's fault.
Yeah.
Example.
Yeah.
Give me. Where are you going with that?
It's like the part of the leader is the bad and the good of being a leader, and the bad and the good of the Beavis and Butthead. Like you said, they need a leader. So sometimes even having a leader is just for them to be able to shift blame.
Because they're not in control.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So if things go bad, oh,
It's the leader's fault.
Oh,
Yep.
that's why things didn't go right.
That's right.
Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butt. And I'm just thinking, in my lifetime
That's
experience,
the name of this episode.
no, for real, people, the
Nah,
people that
that's not a good name.
I
for that.
understand. No. I want to be very clear. Like the people that like Beavis and Butthead and promoted it to me were Beavis and Butthead and did not see the satire.
America was Beavis and Butthead.
America
That's
is
why it
Beavis
became
and
a
Butt-
classic show
I
that
can't-
we've
for
never
real,
seen the
it's a-
episode and we know the
it's an
name
American classic, man.
because
Yeah.
it's the reality.
It's reality.
made by an asshole. He probably a Virgo. That's some Virgo
Mike
shit.
Judd? Oh, for real, bro.
That's some
No,
Virgo
for real.
shit.
And you haven't. Have you seen?
mind you, my moon and my rising is in Virgo. So I'm shout
Have
out
you
to
seen
Virgo.
Office Space?
Yes.
Oh, obviously it's a classic, bro. You gotta
I
watch
love
that
that
movie
movie, too.
That's very much like modern day work. It's like it's making a satire of like this is what
Of life. Oh, I love the part though when
It's
he
so good.
when he just like
corporate jobs.
gets like carefree and everything goes.
What happens? I forgot that. I haven't seen it. In
He
10
gets
years.
hypnotized
and then what's he do?
and then he gets out of the trap.
Oh, the cubicle maze
yeah.
at work.
That's a great movie too.
It's a great movie. Yeah,
I mean,
I gotta see back. What does that message mean though?
Office Space?
Yeah, like
man.
a lot of the movies in the '90s was deep.
It was deep,
It was
bro.
just they knew it would go over people's head, and we was too young to know.
Too young. I didn't realize
The
that.
'80s was super racist. The '90s was super deep movies, and then they just knew like when these millennials grow up, they're gonna come back.
They're
and-
gonna
I
understand
think
what
I
we were
got
talking
it.
about.
Once because he was like everybody else, trying to do what everybody else did.
Yeah.
As soon as he didn't, he got a raise. He got promoted to the top. They were like, "I like your attitude." He's like, "Well, I don't really care." He's not like, "I like this guy."
That's right.
But everybody else was trying to like kiss ass and do the right thing, and it's like stepping
and
out
conform, stepping out of the box, man. You win, but you step outside the box, and then you become a leader, as you said.
Yeah.
So
Yep, just shut it down.
shut it down.
120.
Yes, sir.
Good
When
shit
I-
though. Glad you could be
Yeah,
here,
bro.
Rob,
No, for real. It was time, man.
Appreciate you, man.
On Holy Week, Ramadan, Passover. It's beautiful. It's on Passover night. We getting passed over tonight, bro. Right? That's what happened. That's the story of Passover. We get passed over because the X on the door. Right? That's
That's the story. Yeah, that's the story. bro.
yeah. So we ain't gonna get killed. We good. We getting passed over tonight. Congratulations, brothers. We'll close this out. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, and Master of the Day of Judgment. Thee alone do we serve, thee alone do we beseech for divine aid. Guide us on the right path, the path upon whom thou hast bestowed favors, not upon whom thy wrath has been brought down, nor upon those who go astray. Ameen.
I mean, all right.